Music. Wait, where's my phone? I started this and I don't know where my phone is. There's no music. Where is it? I found it. I found it. I thought it was in my pocket. We have echo? Probably. Ugh. Wait, close this. Let's turn on some music. Let's remove tier list. Ooh, consoles. Let me see here. Music. Music. Is that too loud? It feels loud, but it doesn't mean it is loud. We'll find out soon, though. Come on. Dun, ja, dun, dun, dun. Why is this muted? I don't know, it sounds fine. There's too much audio. I'm losing my mind. There's too much audio. I'm losing my mind. Wow, first stream of the year. Could it be more scuff? Probably not. Look, there's game consoles. Are we excited? Probably not. But I think it's cool. I don't know why YouTube keeps putting me into the stream like minutes in behind. There we go. I don't know why YouTube keeps putting me into the stream like minutes in. There we go. Okay, we're gonna assume it's fine. Let's just go. All right, so we have 130 consoles, variants, and add-ons. A couple add-ons. And we're going to take a look at them. And we're gonna rank them. Based all on like their design. My thoughts on their design. So I don't know how this is gonna go because I tried to like not think about it too much. Don't overthinking it. So let's get rid of this. And let's start with, wait, we want to move them. Can we'll move them into this, and then we'll move them into the folder so they're done. Okay, and it doesn't disappear them here. Okay, but I just moved everything. Okay. So first up we have the Panasonic constructed 3DO. So the gamepad. It's an interesting gamepad. 3DO. Oh, you gotta put headphones in the bottom. This volume. It's kind of weird how the D-pad is. I'm sure, like from a comfort standpoint, this makes more sense. I just noticed where the power button is. I hate that. But I don't like the D-pad in the sound. I'm sure comfort-wise, and these buttons, they're also off-center, but like not as off-center as this feels. And I'm sure it's more comfortable this way, but visually. Does it only have one controller port? I guess so. And there's the open and close button. I guess we have some symmetry. I still don't like them. I think they would have looked better with like some clean face buttons, like maybe here and here. AV expansion port. Interesting. Let's shrink that down. The real interactive multiplayer. Let's rank you. Let's rank the 3DO D. Do I hate it? Do I hate it? So S is like the best thing ever. A is like a solid system. B is okay. C is like, it's fine. And then D, I don't like it. And F, I hate it. So do I not like it or am I just okay with it? Can you not mess up everything? Thank you. Do I not like, I don't like it. I'm gonna put it down to D. I don't like it. Okay, next up we have another 3DO. This one's produced by Gold Star. Now, gamepad is interesting. It has the phone port and volume. I do like this like sleek cut in here, right? But then we have the VCR, the 80s VCR looking system. Like it's a better gamepad, but somehow they made a worse looking 3DO. Like if you showed me this and it's like, this is a 3DO and all the marketing has been this one where you're like, oh, this is a 3DO. And then you show me this Gold Star one, I'm like, that's not a 3DO, that's just a knockoff. But it's not, because 3DO didn't make their own hardware, they licensed it out. Which is one of the reasons it failed. Just one controller port. I do like the power and close buttons, like their location. I don't know. I do hate it. I'm gonna put it below. I'm gonna put F. That 3DO is F tier. Is a bad 3DO. Next up we have, oh, these are in no order. This is just whatever order they decided to move into. So we're gonna jump around, and I think it's best if we jump around. It's gonna keep things like, keep me on my toes. So we're probably gonna come back to this when the N64. When we look at that, there's two more N64s on this list. So I do like how the lines of the N64 continue downward into the DD. We got stuff like on the sides here. Like the venting is mirrored. We got these little pedestals. It's the same color, but with like a gray eject button, which matches the gray of the controller ports. It's not the best Nintendo stacker. I don't know. It's pretty good though. I don't hate it. Maybe it's, is it, do I have just neutral on it? I do kind of like it a little. Maybe we'll put it on a B. It is kind of cool. It's a little cool. It's a touch cool. Next up, the Vectrex. I played on one of these a lot. And that controller sucks. And the screen is really cool though. It is 2-player. You put cartridges in the side here. It's 2-player, but only one controller like clips in, so the controller kind of clips in and folds up. It makes a nice front fascia, so it all like stays nice and clean looking. I don't hate it, but it's definitely my favorite. It's C. It's okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's fine. The Game Boy Light. Now this boy slaps. This like took the original Game Boy, and before you get to like the magic that is the Game Boy Color, this is like just a solid Game Boy. I have no complaints about this boy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. It's a good guy. You got like the dark around the screen that contrasts the out. Yeah, and it has a backlight, which is like huge, so you can actually see what you're gaming. And then the Game Boy Color came out after this and it doesn't have a backlight. So like, what's the logic in that? Game Boy Light, definitely A. It looks classic Game Boy, but better. It's good stuff. That's quality. So now we're gonna get to its brother, the Game Boy Pocket, which sucks. So it's like the same as the Game Boy Light in design, basically. Like we can put them side by side. Kinda. I gotta shrink this one down a bit. See, they're very similar. They're basically the same, but the buttons on the Light are like textured, which I like. They're just smooth, printed underneath, which isn't as good. Don't like that as much. We have the contrast of the darker on the screen makes a difference. The start and select are like physically embossed on the Light while they're printed on the Pocket. The Pocket logo is cool though. I have to admit the Pocket logo is neat, but well, the Game Boy Light gets an A tier because it's a pretty great little guy. Don't know why that got rotated. This is going down to D tier. Game Boy Pocket, D tier. Because I don't like that screen layout. Look with this, the light around the screen, like the edging. Not a fan. The Neo Geo, no, this is a big boy here. Apparently this is a very expensive system. I just totally destroyed how everything was set up. There we go. Look at that. That's like, does it come with controllers? This is the image I found, so we're gonna go with the stick. The stick is cool looking though. I don't know about the embossing of the buttons. I don't know how that works for playability, but visually it looks very sharp. Large empty spaces, but I don't know, it seems pretty nice. And the system itself is very, very clean looking. Looks like a memory card import. I wish there's a better resolution. We'll shrink it down so it looks a little better. Some venting with some angles. The cartridge port is like this little raised part here. S and K. Power button is just like kind of like sitting some little emboss. It's pretty nice looking. Probably a B. I do kind of like it. I don't feel strongly about it, but I do like it. And C is it's just fine. It's better than just fine. I do like it. It's not great, but it's not like super, of course. But it's pretty cool. Game Boy Color. Oh boy. Now I picked the purple one. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should grab another one. Because the purple one's actually going to rank B, but I'll rank mine higher. Green. Of course, this is like the bias we're talking about here. This is the problem with the list, is my biases. Okay, let's close that. Green. Oh, look at that. That's good stuff. But then this is the one I own, so I'm biased. So maybe it's 131 systems we're looking at now. But I want to put all the variants in one place, like all the colors. So we're gonna count these as the same system. Because some people like the clear purple, and you can buy the clear purple and you can buy the color. They're hardware-wise the same. So just like the N64s that are like clear versions, I do count it separately from the standard version. But what I'm gonna say, it's definitely S tier. Is it S tier? Let's remove this because we're gonna remove that. Maybe it's S tier. Because I do like, you can't see it as much on the clear, but there's like a beveling to the front. You got the embossed letters, start and select just like the Game Boy Light. It has some GAT on the back. It has like a little bump that sticks out the back. So it can fit two double A's instead of triple A's that are in the pocket. I think the Light takes triple A's too. I think we're gonna put Game Boy Colors in S. It is, well, the purple is not my favorite color variant. It is really good. Like all the Game Boy colors look good. And you can just grab the one that's your favorite. I've only ever used the purple. The purple one was the first one I used. And then the green one's the one I own currently. They're both good. I think we're actually gonna dig around because I want to tackle a number of systems all at the same time here. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I'm missing one. We have that one, this one, this one. All right, we're missing a single system here, a variant. There's a lot of variants of this one. That's why I want to do it all in one group. Okay, we're looking for that one. And if it appears again, then we know I got it, but I think I'm missing it. Yeah, this is the one we need here. Okay, we'll just throw that one over here so we don't lose it. All right. So first up, we're going to be looking at the Genesis version 1 here. This one guy, the Mega Drive. Now, pretty cool, pretty neat. Okay, no complaints. I do like it's kind of industrial looking, right? It's got like a bit of industrial vibe to it. It is cool that way. 16 bits in big gold letters that are like they're 3D. The gamepads are pretty nice. You got like nice central looking D-pad, 3 buttons across the front, big blue reset switch, volume for like when you plug headphones into the console itself, on off power. It's a really nice looking. I would give this an A or maybe a B. I like the industrial look though. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, it's gonna be A. I do like the industrial look to it. Okay. So then we're gonna look at the Mark II Genesis. There's gonna be a lot of Genesis here. This one has the 6-button controller. We're gonna ignore the 6-button controller because 3-button, 6-button, they all plug into the same Genesis. So like you can use this on the Model 1. So the controller and the 6 and 3-button look kind of the same, and they're all interchangeable. So we're gonna ignore that for now. We're looking at I remember it's cut off there. Yeah, so here we go. This is the Model 2. It's a much sleeker, much smoother looking system. I really like it too, though. It is physically smaller too. It's not as wide, but it is nice and clean. I'm gonna put that A2. I like how both Genesis look like the Genesis, but they're both very different. Very different, but very cool. Okay, so that's the Mark II. So now we're going in to get into like the weeds, okay? So do we want to start with 32Xs or CDs? We're going to start with 32Xs because that one's the one that's kind of in a different folder now because I just downloaded it. So now we're going to go to the Model 1 with 32X on board. I don't like this. The way the 32X sits on the Model 1 just by itself, it feels, you can tell the Model 1 was kind of styled after the version 2 with the curves. That's not to say in the Tower of Power it's not going to look better, but right now as it stands, I'm going to have to drop this boy down to B. Maybe, do I go as low as C? Yeah, I'm going to go as low as C. It's fine. I don't hate it. It's just, I don't like it. Well, that means D, right? Do I want to go as low as D? Do I feel that negative on it? It really clashes. And it covers up the logo in a bad way. But that logo isn't in the picture I have here. So it must be a variant. Oh, the 16-bit is a different size on this model. So some have Genesis written across the top. Okay. We're not getting that into the weeds. You know what? I'm gonna go D. I'm gonna go D. 32x on that, D. We're dropping that far down. That is unfortunately where she's gonna go. So then we're gonna go 32x on the Model 2. Now, this is also weird because it sits lower down on the Model 1 and it sticks up on the Model 2. Like, I think you need to use a collar when putting it on the Model 2 that you don't use when you're putting it on the Model 1. So even though it looks like it's designed for this, it had to fix. It had to fit in the old one, so it kind of got like this long neck. It's an awkward stack, but the lines are closer. So we're gonna rank that one B. I think it's a little lopsided in design. I don't hate it. The line's much better. Or do you want to go down to C where it's just okay? No, it's better than okay, because there's like the feeling of potential. Like you can get a 32x game and you can play something fun. So now we're gonna pivot over into the CDs. Okay, so we have the CD on the Model 1 Genesis. Now this is a chonky boy. This is some chonk. Once again, oh, you're right, there is a Genesis. So this is a slightly different version of the model. Physically the same design though? Yeah, you got like the vents on the side. Okay, they're physically the same. There's a chonkiness to this board. Like, oh, it's good stuff. They're clearly like two stacked units, like an AV unit though, and like it's a front-loading CD tray disc that comes out. Imagine playing Sonic CD on this boy right here. Oh, that'd be like peak. I do like its chonk. A, maybe S? It is a chonky good boy. Ooh. So industrial. We'll go S. It just speaks to me. So then we're gonna go over to the Model 2 CD. Now this one, we got the nice clean lines, right? Really nice, really clean lines. But it sits on this weird thing. And I think this version of the CD can also go onto the Model 1. Like there's a version, maybe we'll find it. Genesis Model 1 CD 2. Yeah, here it is. Oh, we got that too. Okay, maybe we'll grab these boys because that is some wacky shit. These are some cursed things here. All right, so we'll close that. So let's concentrate on this, and then we'll move on to the cursed items. So we're definitely going to be above maybe 130 here. The styling is like mirrored on both sides. You got like these little vent grill things here. They're on here. This is a pop-up CD, so it's a little more reliable because you don't have all the mechanism for a drawer. So it's got some reliability. It's got some sleekness to it, and it looks like it's sitting on a raised stand. I actually want to rank this one S2. It's very clean. Very clean. I actually do like it a lot. But I found some cursed shit. Some real cursed things here. First was this. So this is a Model 1 Genesis with the Sega CD Genesis 2. And you know what? This isn't as cursed. This isn't that cursed because I think it comes with this little extra bit of plastic to extend it out for the width of Genesis Mark 1, Model 1. So you get the nice clean tray, And you have the Sega CD on the side. I think the more reliable one. But you lose that industrial feel. It's kind of like a mix of two things. It is clashing a bit. Maybe we'll put this one down to A? Maybe B. No, B, because it's okay. I don't hate it, but it's not as good as it could be. We'll just rotate him so he fits in nicely. But then we have this cursed shit. Like, this is cursed. This is a Model 2 on a CD1. It's just terrible. I hate it. It's going in F. Now that we've added it, there's so many Genesis variants. And I just realized there's 32X variants of this one and the one before. But we're not going to rank those because I'm not going to go looking for those. So this is terrible. I hate this. You get the industrial and it's the sleek, but it's like off center. And it's just, it's just bad. That boy is bad. No one loves that boy. All right, now we're into the last Genesises. So we have the 30, no wait, not this one. I'm cheating. We have the 32X on the industrial. I think this ranks higher than the 32X that I put it at D. This is gonna go up to B because I think the chunkiness of the tower, because the problem with the 32X is it's a big boy. And when you have the 32X like on top of something, like when I have it with this, it feels kind of like too big. But once you're balancing it out with the Sega CD underneath and all the chunkiness, I think it's better. And plus this is where like the Tower of Power comes from. Its name is this boy here, this tower. So we're gonna rank this boy up a little bit. He's gonna get up to A. He's not as good as the adding the 32X, it does bring him down from S tier, but it is clean. Then we have this. Now, once again, just like how we got a B with the 32X here, this is gonna go all the way up to S. This monstrosity is S tier. With a 6-button controller, this is good. I don't even know if there's that many games that use 32X and CD, but like 32X CD games, I don't know if those exist. I think like a couple do. But this is peak Genesis. Everything is designed with the same clean lines. The oversizing of the 32X that unbalances everything is now brought back in line. Even the fact that it's like a tower sticking up over the version 2, it all kind of smooths out with all the extra mass at the bottom. It really evens it out. So we're gonna actually put that up to S tier. That's good stuff. That's quality stuff. Okay, now we're gonna go all the way back up to the top of our list of items here. So this is where we're looking at now. Some cool stuff in there. Excited for some stuff. So yeah, now we're done the madness that is the Genesis. The Genesis is insane because of like the variants of this. Could you imagine if they made two different 32Xs? Could you imagine like a Model 1 stylized one and a Model 2 stylized one? It'd be crazy. So next up we have a George Foreman grill with Spider-Man font. Man, okay, so I bought the launch 80 gig. It plays PlayStation 1 games, it plays PlayStation 2 games, it plays PlayStation 3 games. I have it, I've used it on stream before. The console is not very good looking. I think the PS3 kind of blows overall. I kind of hate it. It was exciting when it was new, but I think it's not a good looking system. Like, I don't hate it. And I do like all the logos on the side, all these like logos. Those do speak to me. Oh, and a little fun fact, when this is on a little pin. So if you stand it vertical, this will rotate to the PlayStation logo, and the touch things feel nice. Mine, this door opens up and there's all memory card slots behind it. It's a cool system. It's a C. It's fine. I don't hate it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't hate it. It's C. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's a serviceable system. Okay, now we got turbo graphics, which I think is the North American European version of the PC Engine. Let me double check that. Maybe not. I might be just wrong. It is the PC Engine. Okay, it is the PC Engine. So this is just a worse PC Engine. So apparently the PC Engine was like a hugely popular system in Japan, had little cards, and then the TurboGrafx came over here. And I definitely ignored it, which is a shame because it looks like it's a really fun little system. This looks like a sticker, which I hate, so that's terrible. I don't know, this is like D tier. I kind of hate it. Especially now that I know the PC Engine exists, I'm like, it's just so much cleaner. We'll get to that boy. Next up, this boy, he's got to be F. I'm sorry, this is just terrible looking. I played one, it's fun. The controller is very interesting. I do think it's a very interesting design with the dual D-pads and A, B, and the start and select. It's all very clearly laid out, so you don't never have to need to look at the controller to see, because it's kind of how it's designed. You're never going to be looking at the controller. This stand looks all wonky, and I don't know. The Virtual Boy is visually, it's very interesting to play, but it's trash. It also looks like the VR headsets of like the 80s. It's F tier. Bad design, bad design. I'm sure some people like it. I think this is going to be controversial. This boy is only going to be A tier. A tier, you're saying? For the Game Boy Advance SP, one of the best, like the best Game Boy handheld? Well, not design-wise, I think. Especially nowadays with modern tech. We'll get to that. So, I owned a number of these. 3? Yeah, 3. I owned a teal one, a pink one, and a blue one, just like this one. It's a very practical design. The way that it folds up and protects the screen is great. The fact that Game Boy cartridges stick out the bottom is not great. That's not... They interfere with how you want to hold it. Game Boy Advance cartridges are fine because they sit flush. In fact, I was really happy when I got Pokemon Sapphire and the blue Game Boy. So like the blue cartridge with the blue Game Boy, was just peak, you know? But it's physically fun. It's fine to hold. Screen's pretty good. I guess there's 2 versions of the screen. The later one is the better one though. Folding up to protect the screen, practical. It is a solid, good system. It's an A system, but, and it also calls back to the original Game Boy in its layout. It's an A. It's a great system design-wise, but it's not the best system design. Maybe we'll do that next, specifically because we're talking about it. Let's just find that boy. Here she is. The Game Boy Advance. This is the superior Game Boy Advance. This feels like the future. Like, holding onto a Game Boy Advance is so much better than a Game Boy Advance SP. For some reason though, I don't know why, this doesn't have a backlight, but you can get backlight versions today. Like you can go on to like Etsy, there's Etsy sellers that sell them with built-in lithium batteries, or you can still run it on AA's and it has a backlight. But ignoring that, ignoring the current day upgrades, which cost hundreds of dollars, just the Game Boy Advance, this was like this is peak. I think I still might have a white one somewhere floating around. I don't remember. It's no fun to play. Game Boy Advance games without a backlight are terrible. Some games are almost unplayable, like the Castlevania games, unplayable basically. So it should have had a backlight. The Game Boy Color should have had a backlight because we had the Game Boy Light that ranked up in S tier, didn't it? No, it ranked up in A tier, sorry. So this should have had a backlight from day one, but that aside, it's got its faults, but I think this looks just more futuristic. Like this is what a Game Boy Advance is to me. I love the look of this boy. This boy is S tier. It's always been S tier. It's always been him. He's great. I love him. So let us continue on. Let's go back to the top and let's look at another Genesis. I forgot this Genesis existed. Is there a CDX with third? Man, Genesis is like haunting us now. Because now I have to see if there's a 32X on a Genesis CDX. Genesis CDX 32X. Oh no, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm trying to find a decent picture. I found a few pictures. Oh no. Just, oh no. Just, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So let's just concentrate on this. So this is a Genesis with a built-in CD, but it's tiny. It's cute. I actually really like this little guy. He's adorable. With like the more modern 6-button controller, and like you put cartridges back here, they just slot in and it just runs your Genesis games. It probably runs plays music too. Because I think this Sega CD played music. It looks like a CD play. It looks like a Walkman with a cartridge port. This adorable little boy is an A tier. I do like it a lot. It is so cute. I love it. But then I found this made me think of this curse stuff. There's too many Genesises. This is one of the reasons why Genesis had problems. They did stuff like this. Look at this. So what's my problem with the 32X on the Model 1 and the Model 2? Its size and height overpowers the console. And it's only when you have the CD add-ons it kind of balances out, visually, I feel. Look at this. Look at it. I can't decide if I hate it or I love it. Oh no. Like, you probably can't access the CD anymore because it probably pops up and hits it. Or it might sit high enough that it doesn't. Wow. Wow. I hate it. But I don't hate it that much. I'm gonna put it at D. Because whilst I hate it, I don't hate it as much as other things on this list. It's, oh, I don't know. This is such a hard one because it's cursed. And I kind of love the cursedness of it. Screw it. It's B tier. It's B. Only because I love how cursed it is. It's like the Sega CD here. It's like the Model 1 with the CD, the Model 2 CD. It's cursed in a good way. Do I want to move this boy up? I'm moving the Genesis up to A, actually. We're moving the Model 2 and 32X up to A. Executive decision has been made. We're moving that up. Moving that. Okay. Dang. Dang. That's crazy. That's cursed, but like good cursed. I kind of love it. Oh man, that's like a star of the show. How about we move on? Seeing as we're currently talking about stack and systems, let's move on to another stack. Starting up, we're not going to do both flavors. We'll start with this boy here. Move on to that boy. The Famicom. The Famicom is a system I have struggled with its design for a while. When I first saw it, I'm like, it's like a knockoff NES, and it's like it feels cheap. But that's the point of the NES. That's what made it successful. Is it was kind of built in such a way, like this dust cover slaps back. It's not automatic, but it's kind of built in such a way to like be economical, but like solid. So I don't know. I've over the years I've actually grown in my like of the Famicom. I've never liked the stickers here on the controllers, but if there's stickers similar to how they are on the NES, which I think are stickers too, it's probably fine. But there's a general feeling of like, I don't know. It's an interesting system. It's also better designed than the NES. The decision to make the NES like a top loader in the way it's a top loader was like the worst decision ever made by mankind. Like NES is trash. Like it's good. We're on no spoilers, but it's not gonna rank highly. But like the top loading of this has actually made it like better. So I'm actually gonna rank. I'm gonna rank this probably B. I like it, but I don't like it. It's a solid system, but not like super high. And then we're gonna go directly into the Famicom disk system. Like one of the OG stackers here. This kind of goes a long way of like reversing what I said. How the Famicom looked kind of like cheap. The disk system and like this chunky bit that clamps on top of it doesn't feel cheap. It feels like expensive. So the whole thing kind of like moves up, and it takes the whole thing up to 8 here. Like it's pretty solid. And when you have the controllers flanking in on the side, it just looks really clean. I really like the look of this on the disk system. This photo, it's pushed back a little bit. I'd push it forward a little bit. Not in line, but just a little bit more forward. But yeah, I don't know. A Famicom with a disk system is kind of great. That's definitely A. I'm a fan of stackers, as you might tell. Stackers stack pretty high. The only low tier stackers are the cursed one and then this one. Let's move on to DS's. This is the new 3DS. I do like the colored buttons. There's not a lot to say about DS's. The D-pad I've never liked. This is like this little circle pad. It's trash. I'm gonna put this boy. This boy's B tier. New 3DS B tier. We're gonna move on to more DS's. Let's get rid of a bunch of DS's here. This is the 3DS XL. So not the new 3DS XL, just the 3DS XL. There's probably a new 3DS XL. I'm not gonna hunt it down. DS's are like not as good as Game Boys. I'm sorry. Looking for more DS's. There is a new 2D. Oh, I have the new 3DS XL. Okay, so I do have it. So I got lots of DS's. Let's just burn through all these DS's. One thing I noticed, like when you're using these, is the bigger screen actually looks bad. More so on the original DS's, but I don't know. This boy, trash. Not a fan. D tier, don't like him. New 3DS XL, exact same place. Trash. The new 2DS. A lot of people live and die by this system. No 3D, big chonkin screens, folds up. People like the new 3DS. I've never owned one, never gonna. I'm gonna give it average though. It's a very clean looking system. The 2DS, the cheese wedge, F. This thing's garbage. Moving on. 3DS, the original one. This is also F. These sharp angles, the raised screen, which scratches the upper screen, like these edges, when you collect just a little bit of stuff on them, creates 2 lines on that screen. These mushy buttons here, the power button right on the face. Oh, 3DS trash. Trash. DSi. The DSi. Okay, this is like if you took a DS Lite and removed the cartridge port. Do I have DS Lite? Where's DS Lite? DSi. Oh, DS Lite's right there. Okay, DS Lite's right there. Okay. I don't know. It's fine. It's a C tier. The DSi XL. I owned this boy. This boy's trash. It's, I don't know. I didn't like it. F. DS Lite. I had a pink one of these. I loved it. The cartridge. Look, so this boy's A tier because there's some things they do with DS Lite. So the DS Lite is like an improvement over the DS by like better screens, folds up into a nice cleaner package. The cartridge port for NES or for Game Boy Advance games is actually offset. It's crooked, but they still went to the trouble of making the cutout symmetrical, and there's a little tab on it. And that just goes to the visual design of the thing. Like, it's really clean. I do like the DS Lite. That boy, A tier. No complaints about that. And then we'll finish off with the DS. Holy cow. It's A tier, unfortunately. I hate to say, does it deserve A tier? Probably not, but there's something about the design, and yes, I have a pink one of these also, that I can't put my finger on, but why I like it. Like, there's so much I should hate about it. Like, the speaker's not in the center. When you fold it up, it looks like 2 misshapen pancakes on top of each other. But I like these indents here. The power button's in an unfortunate slot, but it's all like nice and clean looking. I don't know. I've always really liked the original DS. It's stupid, but I love it. It's definitely A tier. So my high ranking DSs are DS, DS Lite, and new 3DS, the original version. Those are the highest ranking ones. Mine, I got, when I was in Tokyo, I got a Pikachu faceplates that I clipped on mine. And I have the white inside. So it's like, mine looks like this. I do like the rainbow color buttons. Big fan of that. But that's it for DSs. Let's get away from DSs. Let's move on to something not controversial. The Wii. There's 2 Wiis to look at. We're gonna look at both Wiis. We've been jumping around. Then I think we'll hit up the PC Engine, because there's some PC Engine stuff to look at. All right, so first up, we're gonna look at the Wii. There's 2 Wiis to look at. I always liked the design of the Wii. Like, this stand it comes with is manufactured garbage. I don't know why they made this. This is trash. But like, just the Wii itself is a nice little clean system. It lays down nicely, it stands up nicely, has GameCube controller ports and memory card slots on the side. It's a very wonderful, clean system. The controller is dumb, but I mean, it always worked for when I played games on it. You had the nunchuck. I don't know. I enjoyed Mario Galaxy 1. I'm gonna give it a B tier. I like it. I don't love it. It's a solid little system. Then we have the worst Wii. I do believe this has no online, Canada only, pops the top, but it's got like, it's a lot of red. But it's smaller than Wii somehow. It removes the GameCube stuff. I don't think it does any online even. I'm not sure. But it's just like plays Wii games. It's fine though. But it's C. It's just fine. Design wise. Not a lot to say about that. Do we want to move on to PC engines? Super graphics. Let's look at a super graphics. Who wants to see a super graphics? From NEC. This thing's F tier. It looks terrible. I really hate what they did to it. Like, there's nothing I can say. I just don't think it's good looking. Like, there's too much going on. And this is gonna actually, we're not doing PC Engine next. We're doing Super Nintendo's next. Because this is a problem with Super Nintendo. So this is gonna get a fail. Because I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. And are you ready for some controversy? You ready for some like hardcore controversy here? Is this that controversial if I'm hinting it so hard? Wait, where's the NES? There's a SNES. Do I not have a Super Nintendo image? It'd be hilarious if I missed it. Why it's hilarious is because like one of the reasons I wanted to make this list was because of the Super Nintendo. I don't have a Super Nintendo list. How do I not have a Super Nintendo? SNES. I swore I grabbed one. I guess I didn't. I guess I didn't. So let's bring out the SNES. Okay, it's not as low as the TurboGrafx. Now, first up, let's look at the color scheme of this boy. Gray and purple? I'm sorry. That's my vibe. I do like the gray and purple. I'm not gonna lie, it is very nice. But it could be better, and we're gonna get to that. These little ribs along the bottom, these right here, I hate these. I hate these so much. Is there a reason for me to hate them? No, but I hate them. Otherwise, the system's fine. It's like, it's a C tier. Like, there's a lot of cleanness. The game cartridges suck visually. Like, I know that's not the purpose of our list right now. But here's a eBay image here. That's 32X. Undo, delete. Delete. There we go. Like the ribs on the side, the flat tops, this big indent in the middle. I hate SNES cartridges. And then you look at the Japanese versions. Look at how clean these are. Nice round edges. Nice little clean slot for the cartridge eject to sit in. Good stuff. Not the point of this video. But it's gonna be maybe we'll put it in B tier. It's not A tier. I don't hate it. I hate those little ribs at the bottom. I hate those. I like the color scheme. The top is okay. It's just when you compare it to what's sweet, which is what we're going to cover now, it's a hard sell. And that is the Famicom / Super Nintendo, because it's Super Nintendo in Europe. This is the Super Famicom. This thing is class. This is S tier system. Look, you got rainbow buttons here. You got this. I played Super Mario World and I'm like, what's this logo here? What's this logo that you see in the game? It's on the Super Famicom. And have you seen a Super Famicom box? Have you seen the box for a Super Famicom? Look at this. Is this not peak gaming? And then you compare that to a Super Nintendo box. And it's fine. It's not bad. It's simply fine. But a Super Famicom box? Look how fun this is. And then the logo, which like is not used, it's just gone. It's not anywhere on like the Super Nintendo box. It's a fun logo, and it calls back to the controllers. And like the pictures of the controllers match. It's all like really clean. This is beauty. This is grace. Super Famicom, hard S. I adore the look of Super Famicom. I don't own one because I'm like, I had a chance to buy one with a carrying case, and I'm like, but what the hell am I going to do with it? I don't need a Super Famicom. But it is peak design. I love the Super Famicom. If only the Super Famicom could get better. It can. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, I love this so much. It is so peak. It like the Super Famicom just sits right in the Satellaview. It just nestles right in. And it itself has like its own lines that call back to the Famicom, but they're unique to it. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It is also S tier. This is like the least useful stackable thing. Like if you get a 32X, if you get a Sega CD, if you get a PC Engine and its CD add-on, you can play games. If you get a 64DD, you can play games. Okay? You can't play games on a Satellaview. The service is over. This is for a service. But design-wise, it is peak. I love that. That's quality. All right, let's just go back to the top. Let's look at some random stuff again. Here we go. The NEC PC FX. I do like this guy. This guy is, I guess I was watching a video and they said that this design was kind of controversial when it came out. I don't know. I think it slaps. It looks like a PC tower, but like in a very specific era of like 90s. Like almost like a workstation, like a what's that company that did all the fancy 3D graphics? They did Indigo Workstation. SGI. Yeah, SGI, Silicon Graphics. Like, let's look at the Indigo here. Like, look at the Indigo. This is like a graphics workstation. Does that not call over to the PCFX? Like, it does. Like, the Indigo and the PC graphics, like, and you can look at other, not the Iris. The SGI Indie. That's lying down though. Indie 2? No. I was looking for another vertical one. I thought there was another vertical one. It's fine though. It's not the point of the video. The point is, I do kind of like it. It is a nice clean. It's an A tier. It's a very cool system visually. I'm loving it. Let's look at an Atari. This is the Atari 7800 Pro system. It's very clean actually. The controller is garbage. Look at this. I hate this. But like the console itself, like the carts sit in top. You got like nice inline power, pause, send, select, reset buttons. Nice silver with the white, so it's like not super obvious. Looks like it's reflective material on the controller. A nice clean rainbow line. I'm gonna give this boy's a B tier. It's a very clean looking system. Atari Jaguar. What? So this number pad ruins it. If this controller would kind of slap if it didn't have that. If this was gone and you had a nice design bottom. Ooh, I got 0 kilobits per second. It might actually look pretty banging. But as it stands, well, these buttons are kind of funky though. These are some funky buttons. Interesting. They're fine though. But yeah, as for the system itself, it's like trying to be cool, but like it's trying too hard. It really throws back to a Genesis Model 2. It really kind of throws back to that, but like doesn't do it as good. It's gonna be D tier. That controller, the fact that it's trying too hard, I don't like it. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. How about a Lynx? You guys want to see a Lynx? Look at that, Atari Lynx. This thing sucks. I guess it was designed that you can hold it left or right-handedly, because like the D-pad's in the center and it has like double B, double A. But like, it feels like it overpowers, because yeah, you can flip it. Pressing these two buttons together, you flip it. So you can like hold it. So it's good for, it's a design, it's a design that has some like accessibility issues, which is cool. It lets people like who want to have the D-pad on the other side use it on the other side. That's nice. But this little piddly screen in the middle of this like large thing, is an F tier. Not a fan. Not a fan. How about a Casio Loopy? My Seal Computer SV100. I think it makes stickers. I think stickers come out of there. This is the cartridge slot. This is where you put the thermal sticker paper. I'm gonna look it up. I think this is a sticker. Casio Loopy. First autofill is emulator. I don't know why. Yeah, built-in thermal color printer. 32-bit game console, 1995 for... The marketing was completely targeted to female gamers. Is this female gamers? I want a room in Loopy Town. That's the name of one of the games. Are there screenshots for this game? I want a room in Loopy Town. Look at this game box. It's very low resolution. That's cute. I like that. Here's a selection of other games for the Loopy. In case you're looking for your Loopy. Oops, I deleted the wrong image. There you go. Sure. Oh, we got some pictures of some cartridges. That's helpful. Take a look at that. Those are some nice cartridges. Okay. And then they'll print stickers, I guess. The Wikipedia page is very tiny. Oh, there's an add-on with the Magical Shop accessory. Holy cow. Look at this. It's got its own 32X. It's got a big eject button. What is the Magical Shop? No, go back. I want to see, what is Magical Shop? Magical Shop. Casio Loopy Magical Shop. It is main feature with built-in printer. Expand the capabilities to use an external peripheral that connects any RCO output. Oh, so it's like a camera input. It's a video processing unit. Oh, so this has AV input, so you can actually like put images into it in a few different ways. Like if you're able to like display images out of a camera via AV input, and then you can use those. And maybe there might be some other connection. That's cool. So this lets you put your own pictures in there, so when you print them out on the color thermal printer. Wow. Okay, where we're gonna put this boy in A tier, and we're gonna put this boy in A tier. I don't know. I think the Loopy looks kind of cool, and the fact that it's got its own 32x add-on kind of thing, that's crazy, crazy awesome. Let's clean it up here. Let's erase some of this nonsense. Can you believe this picture's on Wikipedia? This picture of a Loopy right here with all this junk around it. Someone's workbench. Oh, and it has a mouse? Ooh, that's good stuff. Yeah, that's A tier too. Loopy with add-on, A tier. Ooh, A tier's looking full. Ooh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Man, I like that. I like the Loopy. Could you imagine printing out your own little color stickers? Oh, that's so cool. I don't know what the game library's like, but I like it in concept. Now we're moving on to the Dreamcast. I used to own 2 Dreamcasts. I gave them away for free. Because I also had 3 games. I think I still have 1 game. Maybe not. I think I got rid of my games. I didn't want it. The controller I never liked. The system though, I do like its like design, and its logo is very goofy. I do like the swirly goofy logo. I'm gonna give that an A tier. Maybe no, B tier. I'm sorry, the controller really brings it down. How about an FM Towns Marty? Here's an FM Towns Marty. It's got a floppy drive on the side. Look at that, that's cool. Very simplistic controller. CD-ROM. There's a better FM Towns Marty. We're gonna give this boy a C. He's fine. Want to go back to Game Boys? How about the Game Boy Micro? How about the worst Game Boy? Yet it still has an audio headphone jack. Something modern phones don't have. It's so small that the Game Boy cartridge slot is off center. I hate that. This one's seen some use. This boy is a D tier. Not a fan of the Game Boy Micro. How about a Magnavox Odyssey? So first up, what the hell is that controller? What is that? What are you supposed to do with that? What does Magnavox Odysseys even play? I don't know. Controller would look nicer on top of the console. The console itself, it's got like this nice slope. I guess that's a cartridge slot, maybe? Maybe it only has 1 game and it uses this 1 custom controller. Yeah, it's D tier. It's kind of clean, but I don't like it. That controller like is dumb. If it had like a more standard looking controller, like even like an Atari controller with just like a, let's grab an Atari right now. If it had like this controller, like an Atari's, it would rank higher. As for the Atari, it feels 7. It feels old. This orange trim, it's got to be D tier because it just feels too old. Like the Odyssey would have outranked it and got up to C tier if it had that controller. Do you want to look at more Ataris? We have more Ataris. Would you like to see an Atari 2600 Junior? Look at that guy. You know what this is? This is this? Yeah, this is clean though. Where'd I put the other Atari? I do not see it. Oh, I put it in B tier. This is probably B tier too. It's very clean. It matches visually. There's some nice like library. Here's another D tier Atari. Maybe this is an earlier version of that cleaner look. Big honking slot. Silver and black with a little bit of rainbow color. Ugly controller. In fact, it's D. I don't like it. I don't hate it. Atari 7800. Look at this boy. This feels like we've done this boy already. What is this boy? I guess this is just like a better version of that one. Or at least a better gamepad. I'm gonna just stack that boy on top. That boy replaces that boy. Maybe we got some duplications. Oh, I found the 32X for the Jaguar. Well then. Now the plot thickens, as they say. So here's a Jaguar. It's got this little cutout in the top that makes it try to be cool. Here it is with a CD add-on on top. Ooh. And you still have the cartridge slot. Ooh, I see. Do you know this ranks up to, this goes up to B tier. The controller is still an abomination, but like the addition of the CD, which looks like it was always supposed to be part of it, just clamping on there with the cartridge slot top, that actually looks kind of cool. Jaguar CD, B tier. Design-wise, it is better than the D tier Jaguar by itself. Fun stuff, fun stuff. You wanna look at another Marty? Here's a car Marty. That's not floppy drive. That's a CD-ROM drive. This is just FM Towns Marty, but it goes in your car and can run GPS. It looks like a car stereo. C tier, it's fine. Once again, there's a better Marty coming up. In fact, we're gonna better Towns, FM Towns. Look at this boy, FM Towns. Of course, it's gonna rank B tier because look at it. It's a PC. I like it. I like the front-loaded CD-ROM drive. The FM Towns. That's a B tier. It's a fun-looking system. And then we have the FM Towns 2, which is unfortunately just like a PC, but more PC. Towns MX, HR, we got CD-ROM, we got discs, Intel inside. But like, I don't like pancake computers as much as flat computers. So this is just a B or C tier. This is just like, it's fine. What else are we gonna look at? Commodore 64, do you wanna see a Commodore 64? It's F tier. It's just an oversized, ugly beige keyboard. Sorry. What do we got here? We got a television. I played on a television. I don't remember what I played. This is a television 2, actually. Look at this boy. Huh. I like how the controllers just slot in there. So that's where they go when you're not using them. They're bad controllers though, but the design is nice. You know those are no fun to push. You know those are not fun to play with. But I do like its clean design. How the controllers slot on the top. This is actually a C tier. Simply because, you know, it looks nicely designed. We've added a couple things, so we're going to delete that one because I don't want to talk about that one. I don't want to talk about that one. Get us back to around 130 consoles here. Look at this boy. This is a Philips. Now this controller, that's just a Gravis gamepad. This is just a PC Gravis gamepad. Like literally, it's a Gravis gamepad. It's not like kind of Gravis gamepad. It's just a Gravis gamepad. You got the little screw you put the thumbstick. You got all these little dots around the edge. You got like the hump at the top, hump at the bottom, little switch at the bottom. It's just a Gravis gamepad. The Philips CDI this has just got a Philips branded Gravis gamepad, which doesn't have the right port. It doesn't have game port, so you can't use it on PC. And it looks like a VCR. This is a VCR. You stole someone's controller and you're a VCR. That earns you an F tier. There's still so many consoles left. I've been moving them out as I use them. You guys want to see some more Segas? How about Sega Master System? Look at this boy. We got like a little thumbstick in the middle of the pad. We got 2 buttons, cartridge slot, all these cool lines. I think maybe an A tier. That one looks kind of clean. How about a Sega Mark II? Or Mark III, I mean. Cards, joypad, just in case you weren't sure. Look, it's like they took the Sega Master System and made it uglier, because they did. I really hate it. It's going to be an F tier. It's not nearly as good. It's such a clean design and you destroyed it. How about a Sega 3000? You can stick cartridges in it. And it's a keyboard with horrible gel keys. That's an F tier. If your console looks like a keyboard, you're probably not going to score high on my list. Let's move over to N64 again. Because I want to. Let's look at the classic N64. And let's look at the colored N64. Now I'm going to separate these. But they're probably going to rank the same. So the problem with the 64 colored versions is, of course, they're going to clash with the DD. Because I think the DD only came in one color. I own the green one, so that's kind of specifically why I picked it. But this represents all the color variants. I didn't actually grab the Pikachu one. I did. How did I forget the Pikachu in the 64? There it is. There's some stuff to talk about. I thought there was gonna be nothing to talk about with the Pikachu in 64, but you know what? There's stuff to talk about. Interesting. You know, this kind of shakes up my thoughts a bit. Here's a better picture of different angle. The controller's the same as you know. Make note of the controller. Because this new picture doesn't have the controller in it. It does have the controller in it. Oh, it's a different picture on the controller too. How many variants of this thing is there? We'll delete this one because this one actually is very relevant. This is extremely relevant to our situation currently in the world. Very interesting. So let's put you aside. Let's start with these boys. Classic dark N64 and then the colored versions. They feel different. They should probably rank the same though, I think. I think they're gonna rank the same. We're gonna put them at B tier. The N64 is kind of a rough design, if I'm gonna be honest. And one of the reasons I think it's a rough design is these little 2 bumps that come out the front, which is why this has become incredibly relevant. Because at first I thought the Pikachu N64 was just a Pikachu made wider. You got like the same design peaks, but like a different button, and then it's wider, so there's a Pikachu on it with its reset button. And you can see like the controller ports are off center. But it's also an N64 with these feet on the front cut off, so it's just smooth. You know what? I'm moving N64s up to A tier. Because you know what? I thought I didn't like those feet, but I think the feet actually are better. And I'm actually dropping this down to C tier. D tier. I'm gonna drop it down to D tier. It'd be C tier if it was just missing the feet, but the fact that everything's out of center because of the Pikachu, it's D tier. That's very interesting. How about some PC engines? I wanna look at some PC engines. We have a couple PC engines to look at. The Super Graphics is part of the PC engine line. We'll come to that in a second because we got some add-ons for this boy to look at too. So this is the PC engine, which apparently was a huge console in Japan. There's a version called the Core, which is gray, which is important for one of the add-ons coming up, but it's basically the exact same system, just colored gray, and all the games come in cards. It's a very clean little design. It's an A tier design. It's very clean. But they also made the PC CD-ROM, or the PC Engine CD-ROM. It's like ROM squared. Look at this CD-ROM. I actually love it a ton. The design of it is so clean. I think this back part can also come in white. I don't know. This one's in gray, but that's irrelevant. So you got your PC Engine, it slots in this side. You get the CD-ROM, it slots in this side. Very clean. Actually S tier. Actually love it. Love it. Then you have the PC Engine CD-ROM, the new version. This is important because it kind of like this is the core version. This is just a PC Engine in gray, effectively. And you can stick the white one in the front like this. The white one will fit in the front, but it looks like this because if we go down here to our F tier, the Super Graphics, see it sticks out? That sticks out, and then this CD-ROM can plug into the back of it. So you have access to all the TurboGrafx games that run on CD-ROMs. This is gonna be B tier. I don't like it. It really does look like it's just consuming, and then the only other use for it is sticking it on a F tier console. So it's lucky to be B. In fact, it's C. It's C. And it's lucky. It deserves D. But it isn't visually that bad. How about we look at the NES? This is F. This is F tier. While the Famicom worked its way up to A tier and B tier, this is F tier. Because like, sure, it's got some like nostalgic design to it, but it's just a VCR box with a really bad cartridge system. I would have much rather if they made like a top loading one, it would be better. Oh wait, I lied. It's also F tier. So how can we make the NES, which is already an F tier design console, F tier even more? We make this version. The rounded controller, ugly. This console, ugly. This looks like terrible. I hate this thing. It does improve. It's a top loading design, but I hate it. It's also F tier. Gone. Trash. Good riddance. Good riddance to stinky garbage. Let's look at a GameCube. Now we're missing an expansion for the GameCube, the Game Boy Advance Player. We're gonna skip that. It's just a little box that sits in the bottom. I said this, now I can't skip it. GBA GameCube. I was gonna skip it, now I can't. Why did it autofill link cable? Ding, 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 ding. So it looks like it comes in black and silver. Game Boy Player. Oh no, it did come in different colors. You know what? Or is this? Maybe it's a modded version. No, I'm seeing more multicolored versions. Okay, so it did look like it came in different colors. So that's important. So we'll look at that in a second. But I'm seeing listings of the Game Boy Player in different colors. I thought it might have just came in black. Okay, Game Boy or GameCube. Mine is black and gold. I painted the button and this front fascia gold, and then it's a black GameCube. It looks very clean. I like it a lot. But the GameCube is a very simple. I do like the cube. The handle is weird. Probably a B tier system overall. It's nothing fantastic. It's tiny. It's very tiny. That works against it. I did find this Game Boy player. So I guess the Game Boy player did come in many different colors. It just kind of makes it a little taller. Stylistically, it has like little notches for the rubber feet. It really just is more GameCube, and then all the problems that come with being a GameCube. So we're gonna put the Game Boy player and the GameCube both in B tier. I don't know. It's meh. It's like the Wii. It's like meh. It's not bad. It's just not great. How about a Master System 2? We looked at the Master System 1, that pyramid thing of power, which made it A tier. And we looked at the Master System 3, which was terrible. How about the Master System 2? It feels like a Genesis. I guess it's C tier. It's in the middle. So they made this work of art. They made that work of art, and then they just worked into worse consoles every time. Crazy. We're gonna get rid of the Odyssey 2 because once again we're adding consoles to our list, so we have more than 130. I've been putting them over in this folder. I've been deleting stuff I've been showing temporarily. We've gone through 78 systems so far, and we have 57 left. Let's look at this TurboGrafx with a CD-ROM add-on. So this is a PC Engine, which had a CD-ROM support. So of course you need to make a CD-ROM that works on a TurboGrafx, and it attaches onto the mediocre system in a mediocre way. So now it becomes an F tier. How about a Turbo Express? So it's a TurboGrafx, but it's handheld. It's very round and bulbous. It's gonna get D tier because of that. If it was like harder lines, as you can tell, I'm a little fan of the harder lines, but if you do curved lines like a Genesis, you got me. How about a Wonder Mega? Does Mega Drive games. I think it's an A tier. It's got a really fun design to it. I like it. How about we go back to Game Boy? We look at the Game Boy, the OG. The OG, I'm a C. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just a Game Boy. There's not much to say about it. It's not the worst Game Boy design, but it's definitely not the best. It's just kind of there. He's just vibing, you know? How about a Neo Geo CD? We got those colored D-pad. We know I like colored buttons. SNK. Don't like those ribs on the side though. This is just a C. It's fine. I don't hate it. It's fine. It's fine. Let's look at some controversial picks here. We got 2 N gauges. Can you believe there were 2 N gauges? I just thought there was the N gauge. No, there was 2 N gauges. Do they have the same specs? Are they the same design? I don't know. But there's 2 of them. Now there are 2 of them. This is getting out of hand. It has the vertical screen opposed to widescreen. I hate vertical screens for gaming. Someone once said, I read somewhere that like if all our computers were vertical screen, we'd all just be used to it, and that's how we'd play games. And if something was widescreen, we'd hate it. But then I look at stuff like platformers, which are moving from side to side, and I'm like, would you really hate that if that was wider? Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna put the new, or the not the newer, but this N gauge at D tier. I hate it. I do hate it, but I hate it less than this N gauge, which is F tier. It looks more comfortable to hold with how it's rounder. How about the Turbo Duo? I don't know what a Turbo Duo is, but it definitely looks C tier. That looks like a C tier console if I ever saw one. Which of course we have to go back to GameCube now. I remember thinking this was the coolest thing in the world. And now I have to ask myself if I was an idiot. So this took full-size DVDs. So everyone's like, oh man, you could pirate GameCube games with this because then you can burn them on regular DVDs and play them on the GameCube Panasonic version. I don't know. This thing looks like a mess. It's got ugly pointy feet. It's got like a clear plastic front over a silver background, which gives it some cool depth, but I don't know. This is a D tier console now. I don't know why I liked it. I'm glad I never bought one because they were expensive. I don't like it anymore. I got a Sega 1000. Look at this guy. It's like an Atari from Sega. He's C tier. No, you know what? Maybe he's lower because it feels baseball, and I hate baseball. The thing about this design and color feels baseball. You're D tier. D tier. So what if we made a new version of the SNES? That's gonna be better, right? This is F tier. This sucks. I hate it. Could you imagine a Satellaview on that thing? Ugh. The poor Satellaview. Of course, this is the console everyone's watching to see. The Viewmaster Interactive Vision Control. I found this and I'm like, what the hell is this? This looks like a TurboGrafx. Or Super Graphics. Look at this thing. Super Graphics, this thing. They're like the same ugly thing. Except this one is like worse. This one feels like a level in like an old Mario game knockoff. Like if Mario was like running around here, or Marble Madness, and he jumps up here like this is a bounce pad, and then these are like little pop-up things that like shoot at you or something. I don't know. This thing is 110% trash. Like we need a new tier below F for what that boy is. I just saw it and thought it was hilarious. The Sega Nomad. So this is a Genesis in your hand. It's kind of D tier. Like it's a cool concept, but like it's not very nice to look at. Like a Game Gear looks better. In fact, we'll look at that next specifically because we're calling it out. Where's the Game Gear? I have the Game Gear. There's no way I forgot the Game Gear. There you are. So like, and it's like it's so blocky. It's so blocky. I'm actually gonna put an F tier. I think it's really bad. It's a really bad design, especially because they made the Game Gear. Now the Game Gear is really big. I owned one once. It is big. It is not fun to hold. It is a very awkward system. It's got like a little bit of bulbousness to it that I don't like. But you know what? It's not terrible. It is definitely at least a C tier. I feel okay about it. And I feel the Nomad could have looked better. They had a chance. Should we go to more modern consoles? You want to look at some modern consoles? You want to look at Xbox? We can look at Xboxes. I got Xboxes for you. How about the original Xbox? This picture is great because it has both controllers. Woo! We have the what is now called the Duke, and then the S controller. This controller actually isn't bad to hold. Like if you're holding that controller, it's fine. Like I played through Halo the first time with that controller. It's just fine. And then this version just is comfier. It's fine. And then the Xbox is, surprise, has a giant X on it. I recently bought one of these because I want to play some Xbox games on stream, which I haven't done, and I bought it a while ago. and the CD-ROM drive is broken, but it'll still open if I have a disk in it, so don't worry about it. It runs, and this is a D tier system. It's kind of looking. So let's do some more Xboxes. How about the 360? You guys like the 360? Because I'm kind of mid on it, if I'm gonna be honest. Someone once said like the Xbox is like exploding with power, so this is like all concave because it's inhaling. So basically, this is a design video. Let's talk about the design, where it's designed that every single one is going to fail because they put the video card directly underneath the CD-ROM drive, so it's condensed and has no room to breathe. And later versions had heat pipes coming out to make a larger heat sink, but they're still doomed. Controller's fine. It's a fine console. It's B, I guess. It had some customizability because you pop off the faceplate. Mine had like a grunt faceplate and grunt stickers, and I got rid of it. I didn't want to delete all my data off it, so I just destroyed it because like it's gonna die anyways. It's not good design. Then there's the S, which I'm gonna be honest with you, is a better 360. But interestingly, it's not the last 360, I think, on the list. Our list is getting small. I thought there was another 360. Or is that a different console? Yeah, there's one more 360 after this. That's right, there's more 360s. This is actually better. I don't know how it fares internally for design. The user replaceable hard drive is gone, which is a shame. I'm assuming it has a hard drive inside. I don't know. One of the stupidest things Xbox ever did was like original Xbox hard drive mandatory. Game developers use that shit. Xbox 360, we've made the hard drive optional. You know that thing we changed that was amazing? We've made it. We've reversed it. It's not as good anymore. That was dumb. But yeah, this is like a 360, but better. I actually like it. It's got like some sharpness to the angles. I do like it better than the 360. So this is actually going to go up to A tier. And now we look at our last 360. Bam! It's from the Xbox One era. I think we'll just burn through all the Xboxes. It's just like a 360 that looks like an Xbox One. It's very unassuming. I think if this is what came out instead of the 360, that would have been a lot cooler. I think the faceplate nonsense was all kind of pointless. This is a nice clean console. Of course, it would have to be physically larger because the technology had shrank and been made smaller for this console. I think it's as good as the one before it. I think both those 360s are A tier. They're nice 360s. So let's look at the one, which is like, as you can see, it looks a lot like that 360. With the Xbox One controller, which I hate. The Series controller is way better. This one has a Kinect in the picture. I never owned one. It's fine, I guess. See? Don't really have any strong feelings about it. It's just a generic box. How about the Xbox One S? Ooh. Remove the controller here. Let's zoom in. It's very clean. I actually like this boy. This boy's an A. Xbox One S, A tier. Very nice. How about an Xbox One X? F tier. This is F tier. It's like a completely nondescript box with a balcony. I hate how the bottom is smaller. One X, trash. Can you even see that? You can't even see it. Our F tier consoles have gotten so big that you can't even see them all. We can scroll over. They're over here. Dang. Running out of room. Let's move on to The series though, I do like the series. I own this boy. I was shocked how tiny this boy is. For a launch console in the new generation, is a tiny guy. It is a D tier though, because it like looks nice and clean and small because it has no disk drive. It looks like a speaker. Like this is just, it just looks like a speaker. Like if you stuck it next to your TV, you're like, oh, why do you only have one speaker, bro? Like, don't you need two speakers for stereo? There's no two speakers because, yeah, let's just zoom that out a bit. Ooh, we're running out of space here. There's no room for me. You can probably move it over a bit. Yeah, so it just looks like a speaker. It's D tier. I don't hate it, but it's a speaker. The Xbox Series X. It's just a tall rectangle with a fan on the top. It's F tier, dude. It's not very visually interesting. All right, we're running out of space here. Maybe we need to shrink down our failed consoles here. We can fit the Atari Lynx in between these two. Get that over, get that over. Get those Game Boys over. Red Rover, get the Game Boy over. Shrink that boy down, shrink that boy down, shrink that boy down. Oh, look how much more room we got all of a sudden. 2 NESs in F tier, that's hilarious. A tier is pretty full though, a lot of A tier consoles. We gotta tidy them up a bit, but they're deserving of their space. I don't want to shrink them down too much. I don't think I have that many A tier consoles left to look at though. Maybe we'll just combine the N64s. But colors really are their own thing. But I guess the gray is just a different color. There's not any hardware difference. We're gonna kill the colored N64s because they're not any hardware difference. They're just visually different. The Pikachu N64 can stay though because it is a physically different hardware. Okay, we've tidied up our list a bit. Let's look at Wii U. It's like a Wii that's round with a big gamepad. It's C tier. Never was a fan of it. Came in white and black. I had the white version. We're running out of systems here. We've looked at 102 systems so far. Let's look at, you want to blow through the Sony stuff? Let's look at the Sega Saturns first. So we have this version of the Sega Saturn. And then we have this version of the Sega Saturn, which have cartridge ports. So I don't know what cartridges run on a Sega Saturn. Like, does it run Genesis carts? Does it run? Is there a 32X plugged into a Genesis or a Sega Saturn? I don't think so. Sega Saturn. Development, launch, decline, technical specifications. Because a Sega Saturn is more powerful than the 32X. Difficult to emulate. Sonic Extreme. Let's just look for 32X. 32X. I don't see a picture of a 32X plugged into a Sega Saturn, so I'm assuming it's a different cartridge port for different things. I don't know what the cartridge port is used for. So this is like the only one I've seen a lot of, and we're gonna put this boy at. I'm gonna put this boy at A tier because the Saturn looks pretty cool. Saturn feels like a console that had a chance but didn't. You know what I'm saying? Saturn's A tier, but I'm gonna put this gray one at S tier. Like the buttons, the smaller controller, the clean lot. It's like a better looking. It's like we made some tweaks to the Saturn to make it a little cleaner, a little nicer, a little better. definitely a big fan of that. Other difference about those two consoles? Don't know. A lot of handhelds left. We haven't really looked at the handhelds. So we got a Neo Geo Pocket. Which is fine. We got a Neo Geo Pocket Color, which actually moves up to A tier. I do like the artistic designs they've made. That one looks pretty good. I do like that. You want another PC Engine? Here's a PC Engine Duo. So you know the TurboGrafx Duo? This is the PC Engine Duo version. It looks like exactly the same, doesn't it? Where did I put that? Where would I put this? B? It's not in B. It's not. There's no way I put TurboGrafx in A. Here it is. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. So this is the TurboGrafx Duo. And then Japan just had the exact same one, but slightly color difference, and called PC Engine Duo. I can go in B. It's fine. Nothing wrong with that. We've looked at 107 consoles. You want to see a Wonder Swan? How about a Wonder Swan Color? What's crazy about these two systems is they look identical, except for like the power buttons moved and they got some A/B stuff, but they're very similar in design. They're both just okay though. I feel they're both kind of just mid, you know? They're just kind of mid. They're just mid. We made them too big. They can be smaller. These mid boys, they're mid. We haven't looked at a lot of Sony stuff. So we're gonna look at a crazy Sony right now. We're gonna look at the PSX. So this is like a DVR set-top box and a Sony PlayStation 1. 2, Sony PlayStation 2. PSX, it's PlayStation 2, sorry. This is A tier. That's a funky looking boy. I'm a fan of that crazy monkey. That's crazy. I'm looking for the Model 1 Genesis. There it is. Or the Model 1 Sony. This boy, ribs on the side, and we all know from this stream how I feel about ribs. I'm just gonna throw it down in D, F tier. I don't like it. I don't like the look of the PlayStation at all. I never liked the PlayStation. This boy is a good boy. I like this boy. Well, I don't know. Something that, like, it's the size of the controller, which is insane to me, but he's so clean lines. I'm gonna give him S tier. He's a fun little boy. I like that one. Call me crazy, but that PlayStation, right up there. Slam to the top. You guys want to see another Wonder Swan? This is the Crystal. I think it has like a better backlit screen or something. It just goes with the other Wonder Swans. So let's move on to PS2. Man, okay, so the PS2 is a complicated little beastie here. Okay. You can turn the logo on this one too. It's very ribbed. And the problem is the Slim is better. It's like you took a PlayStation 2 and then, like, it's the exact same, like, visual design, but skinnier. I'd give a PS2 an A tier. We're going to have to reorganize A tier because it's kind of out of control. But I'm gonna give the PS2 a B tier. Yeah, B tier probably. Yeah, with the original, what's it called? The Xbox 360. Put those 360s over there. There we go. That's some fun stuff. Let's keep moving along the PlayStations, eh? You want to see a PS4? Mine's white, but is this boy. It's a C. The PlayStation 4 has always been kind of like a mid-tier system, design-wise. I'm gonna give it a C because it's just fine design-wise. And then you have the PlayStation 4 Pro, which is an F tier. Like, they kind of did the opposite of what they did with the PlayStation 2, where they like took a PlayStation 2 and then cut it slimmer. They took a PlayStation 4 and made it taller, but the lines don't do it any justice. And I actually think the PlayStation 4 Pro is not a good looking system. Let's look at Vitas. No, we got PlayStation 3 we missed, eh? We missed the PlayStation 3. We missed 2 PlayStation 3s. Wake you up. So I put the PlayStation 3 kind of low. It is down here at C tier. Well, we looked at it a while ago if it's up front. And then we kind of get distracted by the consoles. So here's the PlayStation 3 again. This is about the same. It's like a skinnier version. I do like the logo change. It's like a skinnier version of the oval. So I'm gonna make it C tier. It's just fine. And then they made another version, and this is F tier. It just like this slides over. It's all like liney. I don't know. It's like the worst version of PlayStation 3. Terrible, terrible. So we got some PlayStation 4s we can look at. PlayStation 4 Slim. So here's a PS4, but it looks like the PlayStation Pro. It's not as ugly as the PlayStation Pro, but it's not nice. Trasharilla. PS5 Digital Edition. And then we had the PS5 Disc Edition. And I'm going to put the PS5 at D. Because I don't like it. And we're going to put the PS5 with disc at F. Because I don't like it, but now it has like a weird growth on the side. So it's like you made a PlayStation uglier somehow. That was already ugly. PS5 controller? Banging though. PS5 controller. Do. PS5 controller. S tier. We're separating it because I want to. I forgot consoles. Okay, I forgot a couple consoles. We're gonna add these in quickly, which is good because then we'll cut some consoles I don't want to work on. feel like I have to do I have to do 130 games minimum because that's what I put on the sheet here. But I forgot these consoles. And yes, these are consoles. And we're going to cover them after we finish the Sony handhelds. Because we're going to actually go into the PSP. There's a few variants of the PSP. This is just going to handle all of them. Because the variations are very subtle. But the basic overall design, like some of the button shapes change and stuff. But a PSP is basically a PSP. It's got a really bad analog stick over here. But otherwise, it's a pretty fun little system. The widescreen is mind-blowing. But like, it's a C tier design-wise. It's not gonna light the world on fire. I'm gonna wedge him right in there. It's gonna fit nicely in there. This is a good boy. I feel like we should shrink some of this stuff down more. Look how big our consoles were at the start. It's amazing how much space we can make just by shrinking things just a little bit. I knew it was gonna do like 130 consoles, so you think I would have made these things smaller. Shrink, Wonder Swans. Shrink. All right. So next for Sony handhelds, we got the Vita, which is like a sleeker looking PSP with better analog sticks. And it actually ranks higher. It's going to rank at A tier. I really like the design of the PSP. There's something about it that it just speaks to me. Like I remember looking at a PSP and just kind of like going like, or a PS Vita and just going, oh, it's so nice. Now I will say this, I no longer own a Vita, but I do still own a PSP. So do with that information as you will. So we basically looked at 124 items. So we're trucking along. We're definitely gonna go over 130. This is F tier. They made a PlayStation PSP worse. I don't know why I thought that was a Vita. Probably because I'm stupid. But yeah, that PSP, the little PSP Go, no UMDs, which probably saves battery life. But I don't like its slidey, outy nature. Not a fan. We haven't even looked at Nintendo Switches yet. But we're going to move on to the next console, which is the Quest. Because yes, this is a console. Because it's like a handheld console, but for your head. This is the Quest 1. I've never used the Quest 1. The strap looks terrible, but you can place the straps. It's fine. It's a C tier, I guess. I don't hate it. I don't love it. This is the Quest 2. This is gonna go up to probably A tier. Because they took the Quest and like made it really clean. The white design with like the black interior here on the buttons, it's a really clean design. I actually like the Quest 2. Definitely A tier. And then we'll look at the Quest 3, which is D tier. The cameras in the front, these like 3 slots on the front, and like the losing the rings on the controllers kind of makes them look less cool. I think the Quest 3 is a D tier design-wise. Is it a better VR headset? Probably, but it's not my jam. We can probably skip most of these last consoles and not actually review them, which is great because I kind of want to end the stream now because it's been 2 hours of looking at consoles. But maybe we'll look at a couple. I don't know. We'll see. We'll judge them. We're running out of space though. First up, we have the Nintendo Switch. Let's grab the OLED, which is basically, I think, like a smaller bezel, maybe, opposed to the regular one. Maybe not. Maybe they're the same. But like, it's not the most comfortable console to hold. It's kind of mid-tier. I give it a B. Probably put the switches at B. So let's look at the light. So here's a switch where we can't remove the Joy-Cons. So that does cut you out of some games, which is bad design. But it definitely looks more like a handheld. It's a little smaller, I believe, too. It's the exact same thing. It's just B tier. It's just... Maybe the switches are C tier. They're just fine. Yeah, the switches are C tier. They're fine. Because this is... I don't hate, I don't love. These things I like. I don't hate the switches. I don't super like them. So this is should be 130 on here, but we got a couple. We added a couple and a couple extra to look at. What are these that are worth looking at? The links. We'll look at the links. The Atari links. It's that goofy little guy. He's a D tier. I don't like how it like kind of like peaks up and a little tiny screen in the middle. I don't know. Like this is a second version of a Lynx. Where'd I put the other Lynx? I put the other Lynx down here in F tier. So it's a better looking Lynx. It looks like it still maintains that you can flip it and use from the other side. So it's D. It's a better Lynx. They improved the design. Still not great. You tried though. Still not great. And Neo Geo CD top loader. I feel like we've looked at this. I'm gonna assume we did. It feels familiar. Did we look at it though? I'd put it D tier, not lower. I don't see it D tier though. I don't see it in F tier either. C tier? Do you see it? I guess we'll review it, seeing as it's not. I don't see. I really recognize it though, with the rainbow buttons, with those ribs on the side. I really think I've already reviewed this. I've been trying to like drag them out of the folder I have them in into a separate folder to keep count of how many we've looked at, and so I don't double dip on them, because when you're looking at so many consoles and you're not talking about all of them that much necessarily. I guess he goes in D tier. If he's already on the list, then because there's the Neo Geo there. Do I want to look at any of these? You know what? Screw the rest of these. Delete. I'm tired of looking at consoles. All right, we're done. This is our list. This is our concrete list based on design. Let's zoom in and go through each tier list and give our opinions on them. See how we feel. Let's start at the S tier. These are the cream of the crop. What I think is the best designed systems. We got the Game Boy Color line. We got the Model 1 Genesis with CD add-on. Model 2 with the CD, the stack with the 32X on there, Famicom, Satellaview, PlayStation 5 controller, PC Engine with the CD-ROM add-on, but not the PC Engine. Over in A tier, we got the Game Boy Light, we got the Model 1 Genesis, we got the Tower of Power, the Model 2 Genesis just by itself, the little CDX add-on, the Famicom with a disc system, 32X Boy, Game Boy Advance. This thing, what was this called? The Loopy with the 32X add-on of the Loopy. Fun times, fun times. Then we have B tier. We get the Genesis Model 1 on the Model 2 CD-ROM. We got that crazy, that absolutely crazy 32X on the CDX. That's crazy. It's nut stuff. Crazy stuff. What are you doing? You're drunk. Go home. You got some Ataris. We got the Jaguar with CD add-on. That CD add-on did work to really bring it up. It made the big difference on design. Cannot deny. Let's go over to C tier. This is stuff that's like okay. It's just fine. Don't hate it. Don't love it. We got Towns Marty in there. That weird Wii. Some DS's. The Game Boy. The PC Engine being consumed. Where's the PC Engine? Oh, it's over in A tier. Makes sense. Yeah. Good. Sega System 2. Game Gear. There it is. We did look at that thing already. Well, you're actually getting kicked out of C tier because you're now over here in D tier. My opinion of you has dropped. The PSP can now take up your space in C. Can't see. Game Gears, basically every Switch, the first Oculus in there, all the Wonder Swans are in here. Just stuff I don't hate, don't love. The Duo, and then the other Duo, the two Duos are in here. Stuff I hate, but the stuff I don't like, not hate, don't like. 3DOs, Game Boy. The 32X on the Model 1 Genesis. TurboGrafx, which is the worst PC engine. Boy, look at that. The Jaguar's down in D tier, and it makes it all the way up to B tier, skipping C tier with that CD add-on. We got the Atari, we got the Pikachu N64 in here. The Magnavox Odyssey, which is like the weird looking thing. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. One N gauge is up here, while the other N gauge is down over in D tier or in F tier. No, D tier. D tier. F tier for that. Sega. And then stuff I just ate. I just hate it. We got that other 32X, the 2DS, the DSi, the first original game. This cursed object here. If your console is a keyboard, you ended up here. The NES in here. Both NESs are in here. TurboGrafx with an ugly CD add-on, making it worse. A worse Super Nintendo. I mean, I put the Super Nintendo low. Where did I put the Super Nintendo? Yeah, I put it in C. No, I put it in B. So I like it. It's fine. It's just not my favorite. But that one is down. So yeah, that's it. This is my definitive consoles based on how I feel about them list. And that was 2 hours of our lives wasted of me talking about consoles. Yeah, it was fun. It was a long stream. Yeah, I don't know. I love these Peak Boys up here. I know the PlayStation 5 controller isn't a console, but I own that controller. I own this controller. I do not own a PS5 and have no plans of buying one, but I own that controller and use it. So like, that's a testament to the controller. Because I own two Series controllers, right? But I also own a Series S, so I own an Xbox. But yeah, that's I got 132 items listed. You take the controller out, that's 131 items. So that's should be 130 consoles, variants, and add-ons looked at. Genesis was like a big mess. There's too many Genesises. I love this cursed boy though. That's a cursed boy. It's a good cursed boy. But yeah, that's it. We done. I thank anyone who decided to watch this nonsense. First stream of the year. Probably get some food. Gonna stream later because I got to do the Warhammer news. It looks like there's gonna be some exciting news, so I'm pretty hype. Pretty hype. I think we might start with the newest news working backwards though, maybe. I'm undecided. It felt really fun last time, but I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, I'll see you all later. Farewell.